Let's talk, people. What's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Let's get it in real quick. Right? Let's talk. So, check this out. Right? Check this out. Let's get into it. So, if we ever peep, right? We ever peep that one of the things that we lack, right? And I'm just not talking about a race of people. I'm just talking about a group of people. But it's a group of us, a group of people that don't know love, right? Once again, there's a group of us, a group of people that don't know love. Check this out. What I mean by that is love is foreign to somebody that is in a state of disarray, right? Love is foreign to anybody that does not know love or is in a cycle of pain, right? Now, what I mean by a cycle of pain, right, is not necessarily an illusion. I'm not talking about an illusion. I'm talking about we have been taught not to love. We've been programmed not to love. We've been programmed to sit up here and to fear love. Okay? I'm gonna come in. I'm just slow walking y'all real quick. Okay? Now, in this system that we live in, is not fed off of love. It is fed off of hate. It is fed. The system feeds us hate. Okay, give you an example of that. You ever watch 28 Days, right? And you know, in the beginning of 28 Days or 28 Days Later, it's one of them shows, right? They put they put destruction in front of these monkeys and let the monkeys watch it all the time. Okay? What the TV was pumping out was fear, hate, and all wars and all that other type of stuff. So, y'all know the movie if you've seen it, right? If you've seen the movie, you know that the monkey was, the energy was programmed, right? The monkey went from being his natural self to now being turned on and programmed for a whole other, something totally different than what he was doing. Now check this out. In this matrix that has came upon us, right? There's a lot of things, and I was trying to tell somebody in a conversation, right? Why does God have so many names? Right? Why does God have so many names? I don't like think about that for a second. That's interesting. God has, so what in the Bible he has, what is it, 72 names in the Bible, if I'm not mistaken, right? I forgot. I think it's 72 in the Quran, if I'm not mistaken. What I'm trying to say is, why does one entity have so many names? Right? And what was the original deity that was worshipped? Well, woman was worshipped. The black woman was worshipped. Okay? The black woman has created all the races on this planet. It came from her. Okay? Now, it's interesting. right? How they vilify the black woman, the black man in America, right? They vilify the black man, the black woman in America. They have to. Where are the mother and father of everybody else? Okay? Now, they don't want us to know that. They don't. They want to keep us down. Okay? The women, they want us to fuck over the women, pregnate the women, sit up here and leave the women with the babies, right? This is what they want, because they want to leave us in a state of chaos so we can't figure this shit out, okay? Now, let me tell you this. Anybody that watch my channel, you know I'm big on information, okay? I'm big on information. I'm big on sitting up here giving y'all the truth, okay? Now, in this truth that has, you know, that we live in, okay? This truth that we live in. We can start back there. We can even use this time. And we can see, check this out. I don't know this off top, right? I don't know this off top. But what's the #1 song in America right now? Right? What is the #1 song in America? Right? Now, there was a time, right? There was a time where just, you know, we had a movement. It was a movement of love, right? Y'all remember the early 2000s when you had the India Iries, the Music Soul Childs, Jill Scott, the Alicia Keys, old school Craig David. We had a lot of Dave Hollister. It was a lot of R&B that was cranking. Of course, your Ushers, your Mary J. Blige, your Mariah Careys, your Whitney Houstons. We had it. But see, they want us to disrespect each other. They want to keep us separated and keep us in a state of trying to get money and trying to be better than the next person, right? That we don't have any type of love that we can sit up here. We have no love whatsoever. No love to sit up here, and what we do love are vices. Things that's not going to make us think. Things that's going to keep us down. The first God, right? First God. Right? And I will challenge anybody on this, right? Would be, who created you? Right? Who created you? It takes two. Takes two. Everybody came from their mom. Okay. Everybody came from their mom. Now, let me tell you this. According to certain books, ancient knowledge, right? We know that they covered up. Okay? We know that they covered up. We know that religion and history, right? As well as the Smiths, right? It's funny because we had a movie, right, with Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. It's called Mr. and Mr. Smith, right? Now, come on, y'all. I'm walking y'all. Check this out. Yeah, if you want to know where both of our shit is, right? Check. We know the Vatican, right? But if you ever want to know where a lot of our shit is at the Smithsonian, okay? Because the Smithsonian came, right? And they was divvying up. Smithsonian and the Vatican was divvying up what to go where, okay? So a lot of our shit is in the Smithsonian, okay? A lot of our shit they have destroyed, okay? They have destroyed, okay? Because they don't want us to know the truth. Why would you want us to know the truth? Okay? Why? Now, you know, according to certain, myths, Jesus had a wife. Jesus had a daughter. Okay? When you look at the Last Supper, okay? You look at the Last Supper. We all know. Well, no. I'm not going to say we all know because I didn't know. Right? It took me to look at the Last Supper in class almost 100 times. But our vision, right, our sight, can also be used as a way of, so we can't see, right? If you want, we all heard this before. If you want to hide something, you hide it in plain sight. Okay, you hide the shit in plain sight. Why do you think so many people get so bugged out when they go to the church in the Vatican and they see older church and you see all these on the churches or inside the churches, you see the some demon ass faces, right? Demonic ass faces. This is in the church, okay? This is in the church, okay? Some of the oldest churches. They vilify us, okay, with copper skin because they don't want us to know who we fucking truly are, okay? Back in the day, copper was something that was fucking needed as far as electricity go. Okay, if you have a battery, look at it. Look at a Duracell battery, for example, and you're going to see the copper side is going to be the positive side. Okay, the black side will be the negative side. Actually, and if you look in the law dictionary, that also, right, pushes the agenda of black. Okay, of black. Look at a car battery. Red, positive. Black, negative. Okay, we are not, you see my beard? My beard is black. Okay, my beard is black. My hat is black. Okay, my skin is copper. Okay, or, Moreno. Okay, let me tell you this, they like to push the narrative. Okay, I'm not going to be on here too long, but they like to push the narrative. Check this out. The Wire. Love that show, Wire. Right? Love that show, Wire. For a second, I want y'all to tell me where The Wire was at. Where's The Wire at? Huh? The Wire was in Baltimore. Baltimore. Okay? Baltimore. Let me say that again. Baltimore. Okay? That's where it was at. Baltimore. Why is that important? Where you just heard me say Moreno. Y'all look at what Moreno means in Spanish. Okay? Look at what it is mean in Spanish. But see, they don't like to show the good things of Baltimore. They like to show the negative, okay? And how the negative impacts us. And how we can turn a negative into a positive, okay? Turning nothing into something, okay? That was the whole thing about hustling back in the day. You turn nothing into something. You ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. So yeah, if you had to sell some dope, you know what I'm saying? If you had to, if you had to be a player to be a pimp, whatever you had to do, you was only gonna get in that motherfucker for a minute, and then you was gonna fucking leave that motherfucker till you got what it is that you needed, and you got the fuck about. But no, they turned hustling into a full-time motherfucking job, and scamming where it's a full fucking time job. Once again, where is the fucking love? Okay? We have to get back into loving ourselves. We have to get back into loving our families. We have to get back to providing for our fucking families. Okay? Providing a structure. Providing fucking love. Providing love. Do you know how many kids, do you know how many adults don't feel love on a day-to-day basis? Think about that. Think about that. I don't give a fuck if you are single, if you're in a relationship. First thing, before you could go love yourself, to love somebody else, love yourself. Because see, the system is designed to break you, so you don't have no love for yourself. So then therefore you get put in these situations to where you don't think, you react. And once you get of a certain age, you can't react. 30 seconds, right? Back in the days, we used that. My pops used to tell me this shit. 30 seconds could get you 15 years fast. 30 seconds could get you 15 years fast. Okay? But see, that's the negative. That's the negative that they want us to believe in. And that is the agenda that they push. See, they push the wire. They don't push the fact that the Moors, okay, look at what Baltimore means. Look at what Baltimore means, okay? Look at what Baltimore means, okay? There's certain codes that we left here for ourselves, for us to remember, for us, for a time to wake up. But if we think that the system, right? Check this out. I'm not trying to get into any debates with anybody, right? But let me say this. We can take fact and we can take opinion, okay? If you have enough opinions, the facts will get drowned the fuck out because it's all based on opinion. It's not based on facts. Okay? There is some information that will come out that will make people look at the church, at religion, period, sideways. They're going to make it look sideways. Because there's a lot of information that has been hidden that the church has tried to hide. Why do you think there's so many wars right now, right? They have literally, right? Russia, Ukraine, you have the United States and oh, I forget them, fighting over there in North Africa, what they consider the Middle East, right? The cold part about it is, the cold part about it is, the land is waiting for us to wake up. The land is waiting for us to wake up. We got to wake up. We got to stop putting each other in fucked up situations. We got to start to love. I'm out.